Just a question.
Yo.
Why are you against the new standards? Like, I actually want to hear your point of view on this.
Which reason do you want me to start with?
Just anything is fine.
Right. Actually, we'll start with why are the new standards getting put in place? Start with that. Why do people want new standards?
I don't know.
That's not a great start.
Well, okay, basically, the main, problems with the standards are, BP Flap is, too easy to get God plus 10, and Rainbow Road is, impossible.
We'll state that as this. People have a problem with the standards being imbalanced. Correct?
Yeah.
First of all, when it comes to imbalanced standards, Double Dash has actually better balance than most of the standards anyway. And secondly, the standards are made to be imbalanced. That's how they should be. To have those times where you get your easier standards as you work your way up. For example, you get an easier hero, an easier titan, easier expert. You get those, that gets you on the board, that makes you feel good, it motivates you to keep playing more. And then as you play, as you get better, you get the rest of the standards. You become expert overall when you get enough of them. As you get the harder ones, as you progress further. That's how it should be. Has the motivation to get those early ones, like the top standards, but not extremely hard. Not extremely. I've lost my point. Hold on. Yeah, have it, but not have it so all the standards are bullshit easy. Like having only a discrepancy of about 1 or 2 standards that are off isn't that bad compared to other games. And then you take other points into account. The reason why the standards are getting changed is to fix those imbalances, but the reason why standards have been changed in other games, as far as I'm aware, 2 main examples come to mind. Double Dash in, I believe, 2005, and I'll give it a minute when those cars go past. Double Dash in 2005, and Super Circuit in, I think, 2018 or 2017, one of the two. Those were changed because they had major new strats that changed the game effectively. With Double Dash, it was A-Tech, and with
Super Circuit.
With Super Circuit, thank you. With Super Circuit, that was ZZNT. Those changes were made with those in mind. It's not the same with Double Dash, however. With the new Double Dash standard changes, it's just to bring more balance. But again, the discrepancy isn't huge. I could go on. I want to go on. The discrepancy isn't huge. The only new strat development in the past few years, in fact, even the only new major strat, really, is Sideways Boost. But that only affects a few tracks. It only affects Baby Park, and it only affects maybe Peach Beach and Sherbet Land slightly. It's not a huge change. And even then,
swag
strat.
Yeah, swag strat. That's the main one. That's the only strat that's been discovered. And both Baby Park, but even then...
You said Sideways Boost.
Yeah, that's... Oh, no, yeah, no. Yeah, swag strat, sorry. T-Tech, as the olden term was for it. I don't know who named it swag strat, they need help. But yeah, even then with it affecting Baby Park, it's still a hard strat to pull off in 7 lap. I think there's how many people have God plus 10? Maybe 6? That's still not a huge amount. Mm-hmm. And again, people who have already retired from the game, who have already gotten God, there are going to be people who will lose their gods over this being I am waiting to figure out what's happening here. There's a guy running, and I'm going to wait for him because social distancing, and he's going at a faster pace than me. There we go. Yeah. What was I saying there? It was about people who have God standard overall. They're going to lose their gods over these new standards. They've grinded and grinded. They've put that work in. For what? For it to get taken away. And again, I'd understand this if it was a new strat that affected every track. It's not. There have been some minor developments in the game, but there's not been anything that affects every track. And when you compare god counts to other Mario Karts, games like Super Circuit that has 2% of people that are gods, 4 out of about 250. Well, actually, I'd be closer to 1.6. Anyway, Mario Kart 64 has 26 gods out of how many players is it, Robert?
I think 1,300 at this point.
Oh God. Yeah, Double Dash. It has Double Dash. I'll go with other games as well. Mario Kart Wii has no overall gods, neither does Mario Kart 7. SMK has 1, but that's a fucking hard game. It's a very hard game.
Have god standard.
I mean Myth Plus, but I'll treat that as effective.
But, yeah,
god.
I knew what you meant. I was just...
Yeah. I know. That's pedanticism. It's exactly what I do. Yeah. With DS, there's only 8 gods out of about 1,000 players. With Double Dash, it's about 13 out of 1,300. That's still only 1%. That falls in line with about average across all the games with standards. That's not that bad a grievance to make it harder. And also, Double Dash is the only game with +1, +2, +3, +4, up to +10, and so on. So even then, that makes it slightly easier anyway. If it was based on the amount of... If there wasn't God +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on, there'd only be 7 gods. That'd be even harder than DS. So yeah, Flanders, that's why I'm against the new standards.